Tony, you were on the call for this game. I mean, how good were Arsenal tonight?
They were really good, especially the second half. I thought the first half, there were moments where there were some cracks. The David Raya, he goes out to play a ball, and Julian Alvarez has an opportunity to bend one in, and he misses it. So you could go down 1-0 there. Even up just prior to going up 1-0, Alvarez had another shot at the top of the box where he cut inside, hits the crossbar, and then the floodgates open. And I thought Atleti was surviving in the first half, but we've seen this from Cholo Simeone over the years. He feels comfortable in those moments where they drop back and they weather the storm and they find a way to score a goal. But clearly, restarts for Arsenal, we know this, right? It's the same story week in and week out. They got 2 goals on restarts today. You know you're going to have to deal with that part of it. And then Gyökeres, who I had said in the broadcast, I was looking at him as maybe the MVP of the game prior to scoring a goal because he did everything. He held up every ball. He pressured everything. And then he got rewarded with the first goal, and he's a little opportunistic on the second goal. And this is a guy that 7 games in an Arsenal jersey in a row didn't find a goal, 9 games in all comps because he didn't score an international break with Sweden. He had to find the back of the net somehow, and he did. And so a lot of good things happened for, of course, the win and 4 goals, but a lot of positive things because you want your striker, right? We judge them on how. They can hold up every ball in the world and they can chase everybody down. But you say it all the time. How do you judge strike?
They got to score goals. Yeah, they got to score goals. That's why they pay him the big bucks. And that's the missing piece that they've had here. You see his day, 25 touches, 2 goals, 3 for 3 with shots on targets. He creates his own a chance for someone else. And obviously very good at home.
1-0, Cholo Simeone now makes 3 substitutions and changes the formation. And immediately, before they even get organized, 2-0. It was the Skelly goal. It was the Martinelli. Skelly dribbling down the middle of the field, drops it to Martinelli. I don't think they got organized. They literally just got on the field, the 3 players, and he changed the formation from 4 in the back to 3 in the back. And look where Martinelli scores the goal from. They're completely unorganized, which is not what we see from an Atleti side. So I think they got caught in the moment. And then 2-0, forget it. It was completely, because the one thing Atleti didn't want in this game was to get into a track meet with Arsenal. It wasn't how they wanted to play, and it became that, and then it was, game over.
I mean, they always say, don't they, Nigel, Arsenal, they're always the bridesmaids, but this week they're at the top of the Premier League. They look like one of the favourites for the Champions League as well. What makes you feel like this season is going to be different for Arsenal, though?
I just think, for me, they just took it to another level. They look really harder to beat. They're well organised. They've got strength in depth now. There is no excuses. They've got everything that you need. They've got weapons. When you talk about Saka, Martinelli, all the players that they've got, it's not that now if they've got injuries, they're going to struggle. Odegaard was injured, then you've got Eze. So they've got everything they need. It's all in their hands. And what I like about them is they're so difficult to beat. They've even taken it to another level now. And there's a conversation now that people can clearly say, is Gabriel one of the best centre-backs in world football? I think rightly so. You look at the goal that he scored and also having the assist for the goal for Gyökeres as well, coming in that back stick. And what I love about Gabriel as a centre-back is, for me, is you've got to have players who want to go and head it. Tony and Grella will tell you there's some players who just don't like heading the ball, who are not brave to head the ball. Gabriel is brave to head the ball, whether it's an attacking point of view or a defensive point of view. When you've got players like that,
I'm shocked.
And you put in the ball with great quality, they'll stick their head on anything. Other like when Grella used to have the turtleneck and his head used to disappear like that.
Grella likes to say that he made out he was going to go for the ball, and then at the last minute he just ducked to make it look like the defender.
Uncontested header, so it's very good. Contested header, no thanks.
Is it true, though, best defender in world football now? You can actually put him out there with the performances and everything?
Yeah, I'd have to go through him, but he's not far off. I'd have to go through everybody, but yeah, he's not far off. And the way defending has gone today in Champions League, there's no doubt. He's going to be in the conversation for sure.
Well, Mikel Arteta's got to be pleased with how they performed at both ends of the pitch. Here he is after the match speaking about Viktor Gyökeres' first brace for the Gunners.
Has Viktor Gyökeres, with his first 2 Champions League goals for you, stepped up?
Delighted, because he fully deserves. The war rate and everything that he brings to the team is outstanding, and he fully deserves the goal.
Yeah, I know he brings work rate, you'll get that, but even inwardly, is he also putting pressure on himself to score? That's what strikers have to do.
Exactly, and that's what we brought him here for, and his demands on himself are really high, but we value a lot of the things that he does for the team, and you can see that big smile on his face today, and look at his teammates.
Is this going to be a lift-off for him, to an extent? That's what they say about strikers. Goals when they start, they can carry on for a long time, game by game.
And he's very used to that for the last 3 years. What he's done, it's phenomenal. So hopefully it's the start of some beautiful sequence now.
Mikel Arteta couldn't help but smile there. Will this be a pivotal moment, do you think, for Viktor Gyökeres?
I personally don't think so. I think he knows that he has pressure to score goals. It's nice today, 2 goals, build his confidence. But he knows as a striker, Grella will tell you more so than me, that you know as a striker when you score a goal yourself, when you work that compared to when you get a bit of luck or fortune behind it. And both his goals, you have to say, were very fortunate. You know, coming across, being in the right place. But I still feel that he's going to put pressure on himself, if he's honest with himself, that he needs to score goals and contribute more. And that's what he's going to be judged at. Because there'll be a point where we can't keep saying he works hard for a team and, you know, he's going to put the effort in and makes other things happen. Because he's a striker. He's going to be judged on goals.
Obviously, the game I studied today from calling it, right? And I don't know what else you could ask from a striker today. The work that he did today, held up the ball, drew 4 free kicks, 1 that led to a goal by holding up the ball, gets 2 goals in the end. I mean, that's all we can really judge on him. You know, being in the right place, the only thing I will say, that's an art, right? Gerd Mueller, who scored every goal from 1 yard away, right? That was an art. And I ask forwards over the years, like, what's the greatest goal you like to score? And I always think it's going to be, I want to score a bicycle kick. I want to score some great goal. And they tell me I like tap-ins. Well, why do you like tap-ins? Because that means I'm reading the game. Right? That means I'm in the right spot all the time, and I sniffed out the play, and that's what we got from Gyökeres today. Will it springboard him? I don't know. We don't know. No. But certainly he's going to go to bed, you know, after 9 games of not scoring goals and the price tag that he came here, and both for club and country, he's going to go and sleep a little bit better tonight. And if you're an Arsenal fan, you're just hoping that this leads to something a little bit more.
Yeah, they all count the same, don't they? Here's a fan comment, Grell, on Viktor Gyökeres. Let's have a look. They're hyping up Gyökeres like he's a world-class striker after some lucky chances. Is this how you feel?
I think that's the opposite comment of what Tony just said, and Tony just explained what a fantastic performance Gyökeres has. Listen, I think also at the end of the day, we know he can score goals. We know he has quality. When you go into any room, you go to a party, you go to a changing room, you come to work on TV, you have to find, okay, where do I fit? How do I fit with this group? Do they respect me? Do they not respect me? Where can I help the group? Where should I be quiet more? You know, and I think he needs time to learn that group. You know, it's a successful team, so you don't show up and just say, okay, give me the ball, and you know, he has to find, okay, where do they need me? Do they need me to link up here? Is my success going to be on set pieces? Is my success going to be these tapping goals? Is my success going to be 1v1 goal? Because he scored a lot of 1v1. What are you smiling about? He scored a lot. He scored a lot of goals in Portugal where he was able to create the goal for himself. And Arsenal, I think a lot of the stuff is built in for you already. They just always needed a guy because they were one of the teams that crossed most of the balls, and they have heavy on wing back play and winger play. So they needed a guy that in between the box. So he's trying to figure it out where he fits right now. And these 2 goals, I think, are more telling and more important than if he scores a goal on his own. I think Arsenal need this guy. They need the guy that scores the 3 yards inside the 6-yard box more than they need the guy to create his own chance, because they have so many players that can create their own chances in their own moments. They need the guy that can finish them off. So he has to feel the team has to feel him. And as they go forward, this is a move in the right direction. But if you don't concede goals, you're going to win things, and this team doesn't concede goals.
Just to be clear, nobody hyped Gyökeres up as a world-class player today. Nobody. What was said is he deserved 2 goals today because of the work he put in. And this might propel him to something moving forward. That's what Arsenal fans want to see.
Are you an Arsenal fan? If so, were you so happy with that result tonight?
Oh my God, wait, how was that translated over to America? I was an Arsenal fan growing up, Poppy, and then when I went to Man City, I became a Man City fan. Is that fair? I know you support Forest, don't you?
Yeah, I sure do, and I'm not jumping ship anytime soon.
She watches the games like this. She watches the games watching her phone.
That's not true.
The games are on.
Do you know what? Today I would do anything other than to sit with Grella listening to him talk about his dear stories for 1,000 times. I don't think he knew the Champions League was happening today. But anyway, how was it today at the Emirates? It must have been a magical atmosphere.
It really was. In fact, we were surprised that there was no goal at the end of the first half. And then the second half, Arsenal just pulled out the bag. 3 goals in 10 minutes. You thought there could have been more, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, Arsenal are just outstanding now, aren't they? Got so many different ways of playing, whether it's in a low block, whether it's pressing. And I was happy for Gyökeres today because we mentioned it before, all that time without scoring a goal, but he worked so hard for the team. Yeah. And I feel like he deserved it. I expected a little bit more from Atletico, though, in terms of when they're in that low block, normally hard to, break down, but today it was Arsenal's day.
Yeah,
brilliant performance.
It was, and you think of the result they got against Liverpool, just losing at Anfield. But in terms of the other players that impressed you, because you spoke to Viktor Gyökeres, rather, who else impressed you?
Lewis Skelly. I think for what he's doing at just 19 years of age, in terms of on the ball, going through midfield, his assist was fantastic. Martinelli as well, because, last season, criticised a lot, sort of signed players. Eze was going to play on the left, but he stuck with Martinelli and he had impact. So, yeah, I was happy with him tonight. Yeah,
I think it's fair to say, I'll speak on behalf of Arsenal fans. If Micah won't, we're very, very happy. Top of the table in the Premier League, 3 out of 3 wins in this league phase of the Champions League. It's going very well.
Can we get a cook back to the studio, though? Because you lot are looking very dapper, I must say. Nigel, you've got a tie on. Poppy looking slick. I like the white pants. Mike and Tony, you're looking good as well, sir. You're looking fantastic.
Micah, are those prescription glasses or not? Because obviously it's not helping you if you have to come so close to the screen.
Well, they are prescription, but I need to come a little. We're not in the main studio, Nigel. We've got a little screen here.
All right, I'm going to ask Anita this then. Anita, you're the Arsenal fan. What's the atmosphere like today at the stadium? Is there like a different feeling now amongst you guys for this Champions League?
I think there's a different feeling when it comes to whatever game. There's this belief that the team seems to have that is then, I guess, felt amongst the fans that they can win a game. It doesn't matter how it's going to come. It could be ugly. Mikel Arteta described one of their Gyökeres' goals as ugly, but they're going to get the job done. And so I really feel this sense of belief that fans think they're going to get something this season. I'm not sure which silverware it will be, but I do believe they feel that there will be a trophy coming to the stadium come May next year.
Micah or Anita, it sounded like during the game when Gyökeres came out, the applause seemed like a real appreciation for the work that he put in. I think, Micah, you said, I said in broadcast, I thought he deserved the goal tonight. There's no doubt he wants to score. He's a number 9. He's a striker. But I thought with all the work he did, he deserved the goal. But how about the appreciation from the Arsenal fans coming off that pitch?
Yeah, the fans absolutely loved him. I think he's had a little bit of unfair criticism in terms of you actually watch his game, the way he presses, the way he stretches teams, and his work rate is just phenomenal. And fans love players who work hard. He just needed that little bit of luck. His finishes tonight weren't magnificent finishes, but he was in the right place at the right time, and that's what matters. But yeah, it's difficult because there's so many top attackers in world football, and he's finding it a little bit hard to get going. It took a little bit longer than we all thought, but them goals will do him a world of good.
Yeah, of course. No, without a doubt, I agree with everything Micah said there.
Yeah, through 3 match days, Arsenal haven't conceded a goal. That's usually an indication of a strong team, especially in this competition when they get to the knockout stages. Will Arsenal win the Champions League this season?
Oh, it's a good question.
Did you see the other results? We were talking about that. PSG 7-2. What? I'm not sure it's going to be easy. They'll get far into the competition again. I'd put my neck out on the line and say that.
You know what? I think, and this is not me avoiding or dodging the question, Mike. I think it's all about timing, isn't it? You remember last season with PSG, they nearly went out on the league phase, and then they got the form together later on in the competition, and then they looked unstoppable at times last season. I just think with Arsenal, what will help them this season, the squad is just amazing. The strength and depth that they have is great. Obviously, they've got the psychological battle as well, I think, because when you're going for all the trophies, it's like, can you get over the line? And when you've got other teams, whether that be the Premier League, whether the Champions League, in a one-off game, they can beat anyone. And you mentioned the players who I thought did well tonight. I just think they've got the best centre-back in world football, performing-wise right now. I would say it would have been Van Dijk, probably last season. But Gabriel, whether he's defending, set pieces, he's talking at the back, he's organising, it's just sensational. And being at the game, you see it a lot more. He organises that back line perfectly. And that rest of the team has got a real good balance. So in a long-winded way. They can win it, will they? We'll have to wait and see.